like poison.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Curtis Zone. I'm your host Dylan J. Curtis, reminding everyone to be aware of my giveaway contest, which is starting in May, because this right here is one of the things you're going to be competing for, this awesome Sephiroth one-winged angel statuette. I hope that everyone's ready for it, alright? Today's episode is going to be a lot of fun. Let me explain to you what it is. I did say I was going to give you an episode on Voltron in anticipation for the live-action Voltron movie, which is going to be releasing on Netflix. But since Voltron, the live-action Voltron movie, has been delayed yet another year, I will be giving you this episode instead, an episode on THUNDERCATS. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be shy to get in that comment section down below and tell me the history of episode that you want me to give. I have a lot of episodes because I'm watching a lot of shows. One of the shows I'm watching is The Magician. I hope that everyone's ready for this episode. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started, as always, news. There's only one major piece of news I want to talk about, and it is this. The fact that Warner Brothers was bought by Paramount Entertainment. From what I am hearing and from what I have read, everyone's jobs at Warner Brothers and DC Studios is currently safe, including James Gunn's. However, this could change between now and December due to the fact that everything is pending on success of upcoming film projects such as Supergirl, Mortal Kombat, and Lanterns. However, since the fans are so excited for James Gunn's DCU, there is a high possibility that he has tenure with his job. However, this is just from what we have read. Now let's get started with this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be talking about the original and the 2011 version of THUNDERCATS. So let's get started. Do not be shy to get in that comment section down below and talk about the history of episodes that you want me to talk about, alright? I'm watching a lot of shows. So get in that comment section. Let's get started. For those of you who are new to the channel and do not know how these history of episodes work, I, your amazing host, give you their non-fiction origin, then their fictional origin. I'll talk about important moments, my favorite moments, and I'll end it all with powers and abilities of the main protagonist or protagonists. So, yeah, let's get started. THUNDERCATS would have its television debut in January of 1985, had its final episode in September of 1989. It lasted 4 seasons and total in 130 episodes. It was developed for television by Mattel Toys, who at the time were using TV shows to sell toys. And I just want to let everybody know right now, here's a little bit of fun fact for you. The TV show did so well that the toy sales went through the roof after its airing. And so much through the roof that they almost sold out its first week on production lines. So it was the second time in history that a Mattel toy company had to reproduce products for the film. Like I said, the series lasted 130 episodes. It originally premiered as syndication until it was bought out by Cartoon Network to premiere on the Toonami block. It was pretty awesome. The next THUNDERCATS series came out in 2011. It only lasted 1 season, and that 1 season gave us 27 episodes. It was a more modern take on the THUNDERCATS, and it was pretty fun to see. That's just me talking, though. I don't know about the rest of you guys. All that said and done, let's talk about the fictional origin, shall we? And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Now, the 1985 version was different than the 2011 version. Here's how it went. The Warriors of Thundera had been in hibernation space until they were brought to Third Earth. And when they landed in Third Earth, Lina was named Lord of the THUNDERCATS and given the Sword of Omens. Once they landed, they established themselves as the heroes of Third Earth, defending from an evil master known as Mamra. And during this time, the THUNDERCATS would establish a base, which was so cool, by the way. In fact, my brother and I used to have the toy version of that base, a large scale as tall as me. They would establish a base and even have a thunder tank. And they would become the warriors of Third Earth, which they new named Thundera. Now, the 2011 version was way different. They did not leave Thundera. In fact, it was different this way. Lina's father, the Lord of the THUNDERCATS, was killed in an attack after Mamra had been released and brought back to Third Earth. And so he would name, and so Jaga the Wise would name Lion-O leader of the Thundercats and give him the Sword of Omens, and Tigra and Cheetara would go out into Third Earth and find a way to defeat Mum-Ra. The series only lasted one season and it left on a cliffhanger, but it was a fun season nonetheless. Now, instead of important moments, I'm going to talk about all the characters, both the heroes and villains of Thundercats, okay? Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. The first character we're going to talk about is Jaga the Wise. Jaga the Wise, who is somewhat of a sorcerer on Thundera, who gave Lion-O his amazing power and his amazing sword. Jaga the Wise, like I said, is a bit of a sorcerer, and he trained Cheetara, who's the next character we're going to talk about. Cheetara, who is known as the fastest character on the Thundercats. She's an amazing bow staff fighter with amazing speed and agility. The next character we're going to talk about is Pumira. Pumira, who in the original series, she was a bit of a healer. She had an extensive knowledge of medicine, herbs, spices, and she carried a bolo sling on her wrist, which acted as a weapon. She was often known as the peaceful conflict resolutor of the group, which led her to be somewhat of a politician, which was so fun to see. She had often worked alongside Tigra, but she fell in love with Lion-O. So yeah. Next, we're going to talk about Wily Kit and Wily Cat. The two of them are the smallest versions of the Thundercats, but they are very powerful. They're twins, and they often use musical instruments to distract and hypnotize their opponents. But they also have incredible agility, and because they're so small, they can maneuver in and out of any situation that they come across. They're often portrayed as the weakest, but they're not so weak. In fact, they're very strong. The next character we're going to talk about is Panthro. Panthro, who is the mechanic / chief / pilot / engineer of the Thundercats. He is, and first and foremost, the third in command, but he's often portrayed as the strong and best fighter of Thundercats. Am I the only one who can see Michael Jai White playing him? Anyway, Panthro is the strongest among the Thundercats, so strong that he can lift any object that he comes across. He is often known as the guy who can bench press half a ton. He also has incredible skills with engineering. He's a skilled pilot that he can pilot anything from from the Thunder Tank to a jet. Next, we're going to talk about Tigra. Tigra, who is the second in command / older brother of Lion-O. He often serves as an architect, an archaeologist, scientist, and master strategist for the Thundercats. He wields a whip, but he also has incredible abilities, such as his stealth capabilities. He also has the ability to create mind illusions from his body that can hypnotize anyone to thinking that he's one place and when he's another. And he's often an enhanced fighter as well, and he's a great shot with any weapon that you give him. So yeah. There's that guy who doesn't think that he's cool. And finally, we're going to talk about Lion-O, the leader of the Thundercats. He is the first and foremost the leader of the Thundercats and the king of Thundera. Though he is a bit of a child and still in training to be leading Thundera, he is not weak. In fact, he is incredibly strong, not just in body, but also in mind, in heart, and in soul, my friends. He wields his Sword of Omens, and he wields his shield as well. So yeah, there's that guy. Now let's talk about my favorite moments, shall we? I have 3 favorite moments, but I'm going to be honest with you, they are from the 2011 version. My first favorite moment is the episode entitled Native Son. Native Son is the episode where Tigra finds out where he came from. He finds out that he is adopted and that his original family, were cursed by dark sorcerers for immortality. However, in order to get the immortality, they had to kill Tigra. So, Tigra's birth father sent him to be raised by the king and queen of Thundera. And so, the rest is history. My number 2 favorite moment is the episode entitled The Birth of the Blades. In this episode, Pumira and Lion-O are trying to avoid Mum-Ra inside of the Sword of Plundar. And in doing so, they also figure out the birth of the Sword of Omens and the Sword of Plundar while at the same time they're learning about its connection to each other. It was pretty cool to see it, my friends. I loved that episode a lot. Number one favorite episode from the 2011 version is the episode entitled "Songs of the Petalars." In this episode, the Thundercats encounter a race of creatures that live out their entire lives in 24 hours, and Lionel learns a valuable lesson about not giving up and fighting for the good fight. I loved it because we see that Lionel develops a relationship with a little friend, and he becomes an even better leader. I like that. I mean, come on. And now let's end this whole thing with powers and abilities, ladies and gentlemen. The Thundercats are incredibly skilled in hand-to-hand combat, and they also have training in edge weapons combat. It's their individual abilities where things get a little crazy. You have Lionel, who has all of the powers of the Thundercats. He is as strong as Panther. He is as stealthy as Tigra. He has the speed of Chitara, but he's still a warrior in training, which means he has the craziness of Wily Kit and Wily Cat. Lionel carries the Sword of Omens, and he also has the Claw Shield, which makes him the leader of the Thundercats. He also has incredible agility, and he also has incredible speed as well, and incredible senses, and incredible leadership skills as well. That's just me talking. Next you have Chitara, who is the fastest of the Thundercats. She has incredible speed, agility, and weapons abilities as well. She's an incredible bow staff fighter, and she's also the right hand to Lionel. Next there is Tigra, who has incredible stealth capabilities, and he's a master strategist, an archaeologist, and he carries a whip, which is so cool to see it. I mean, come on, a lion tamer. Next is Panthro, who has incredibly smart when it comes to engineering and mechanics. He's the best fighter there, enhanced martial artist, and he's the biggest of the Thundercats. Finally, we're going to talk about Wily Kit and Wily Cat. They are small, but they are incredibly strong. They have incredible agility. They can hypnotize any enemy that they come across with their flute, and they are the most agile and most amazing of the Thundercats that I've ever seen. With all that said and done, another episode of the Curtis Zone comes to a screeching close, ladies and gentlemen. I can't tell you what the next episode is going to be, but here's what I can tell you. You're going to have to keep looking for it, okay? So, while we waited for that, I want you guys to enjoy this Yu-Gi-Oh! Music video that I made. And, please, don't be shy to hit the like and subscribe button. Just me talking, though.
Change my life for just one day. Don't say if I were you, tell me what you'd do. How things would be if you were in my shoes. 'Cause you're not me. You know what I need, and it's not another serenade. I get so tired of all the things you say. Give me what I want. If only would I gladly throw this all away. Don't say if I were you, tell me what you'd do. How things would be if you were in my shoes. You're not me. Please take me as I am. This isn't what I planned. I guess I don't expect that you can understand. 'Cause you're not me. I know you think you're being nice, but spare me all your lame advice. Time to play my hand and roll the dice. Everybody's got their price. For far too long I've been denied. I'm making my moves, so just step aside. No one can say I never tried to do everything to get back my pride. I can't just say you're not me.